the good guys. And so there's a huge amount of advantages if you can find natural enemies to control your weeds. It is sustainable. You put these agents out and they work forever. They work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days of the year, forever. I don't know anybody else who will do that kind of work. It's highly cost effective. Yes, it does cost a bit of money to find these agents, to test them, to make sure they're suitable, to import them into your country, to mass rear them and release them, because we have to go through all these steps very carefully. But the benefits that you get back are enormous. There's been some really good economic studies which show for every dollar that is spent developing a biocontrol program, I'm talking New Zealand dollars here, you have to do your own calculations, you get between $10 back and $4,000 back. And economists say those ratios are seriously impressive. So yes, it does cost some money, and we can save some money by sharing, by working with the agents that have already been developed, but it's money well spent. And once you've spent that upfront money and you've got these agents established and working, there's almost no ongoing cost because they work. Occasionally you might have a situation where you need to re-establish an agent, such as in Vanuatu, if they have a flood and the water hyacinth and the water lettuce get washed out to the sea, so do the weevils. But there's fragments of the plant still sitting there that regrow, and sometimes you just put some more weevils back and start that process again. So there can sometimes be a little bit of ongoing maintenance, but a lot of them you can walk away and just let them do the work. Only the target plant will be damaged. We can guarantee that, and we're going to have a whole session on how we do that testing and how we know that. So you don't have the issues of sometimes, if you're trying to control other methods, you can have other. It's hard sometimes not to have some spillover damage onto other surrounding plants as well. There are no health risks. You don't have to wear special equipment to handle these biocontrol agents. They're not going to affect your health in any way. Weeds are removed gradually. Does anybody have an idea why that might be a good thing? I know we're all in a hurry and we want these weeds to be gone. Why might it be a good thing that it happens slowly?
So that all the biomass is not removed all at once, so the landscape has time to adjust to all the water flows and erosion control, flooding, all those things. So you've got something providing those ecosystem services, not as good as it would be if it was a native system, but you're not getting rid of everything at once, so it's a lower impact over a longer period of time.
Yeah, to rehabilitate an ecosystem, it's a slower process of restoration, and if you quickly just remove the weed, all you'll get is another weed coming back, or you'll have erosion, or all these other issues will occur because the system hasn't been rehabilitated. It works across the landscape, and so it doesn't matter where you've got a fence line. If you have a good farmer or a bad farmer or a cliff, the agents just go and they find the weed. And they spread, they can fly and they can blow on the wind. And so they can move and provide landscape level suppression. And I'm just saying this is an advantage. Why might it be an advantage that we don't actually eradicate weeds using this approach? Why might it be good to still have some? Does anybody have a thought about that? Yeah, Sylvie.
To maintain the bioagent, the natural enemy, continue to maintain them in the ecosystem.
Yes.
If we get rid of the weed, then
another reason here is that a lot of weeds have people use them for something, and they think there's a beneficial use for them. Something like the Myla-Minute. People use that for putting on cuts and things. So if the Myla-Minute is still there, you can still go and get some. It just doesn't grow and grow and grow and cover everything. So the people who still want some of that weed for something can still have some, but it just won't take over the whole island anymore. Now this is a slow process. It's not like going out and spraying where the weed dies in a week to 10 days. This can take years or decades. The advantage is in tropical countries it works fast. Compared to New Zealand, we can wait 10, 20, 30 years because it's cold and it takes the insects a long time to build up. Whereas Michael keeps telling me he's seen projects which have happened in 1 to 2 years, gone from the weed being there to gone. So it's still slower than using manual control or herbicidal control, but you have to know that it's not going to happen overnight. And there are no guarantees, and what I mean, there are guarantees of safety, but there are no guarantees about success, because sometimes we will release a biocontrol agent, a natural enemy, and they don't survive because there was a storm or the conditions aren't right or there was a drought or there was a flood or something happened and they don't even survive. Or they survive, but for some reason they just don't do very well. A lot of the agents which are already available in the Pacific are very well-known agents, and they're more tried and true agents, and we can be more sure about whether they'll work and how they'll work. It's more when you're dealing with brand new things that nobody has ever tried before. It can be hard to know which ones will be the most successful or in what situations they will be most successful until you try them. So what you really have to do is try these things and use the knowledge that we have about the agents to enhance levels of success. And again, it can be a disadvantage as well that the reeds are not eliminated. They're not ever going away. They're always going to be there. We'd kind of like some of them gone, but that's not an achievable aim. We can reduce them down to a level where maybe you can get rid of them by some other means, but the biocontrol won't do that.
But then you keep in the biocontrol as well. So
That's right.
if there was another infestation coming separately, then at least you've got biocontrol with it. If it
That's
was all
right.
wiped out, you'd have to start all over again,
Yes.
re-release it from something.
Yes. And another disadvantage is ideally your people and your land managers will know something about this biocontrol, because otherwise they might do things to harm the agents. They might, if they don't know they're there or how they work, they might go in and mow the weed down or do something to kill the agents. So ideally people understand and know what these agents are and how to work with them as well.